True Grit. Look at that cover. This is a Folio Society edition. Show you the spine here. Charles Portis. It comes with a slipcover that is plain other than this gilt bit on the top with a snake. If you read True Grit, or I suppose seen at least the most recent movie, I don't know about the original. I never saw the John Wayne movie. I saw the recent movie, which is much more like the book, I hear. Then you'll know the relevance of this snake. In any case, the illustration here goes from the front to the back. Folio Society, acid-free paper and sewn binding. Let's have a look inside. Importantly, illustrated Juan Esteban Rodriguez, with an introduction by Donna Tartt. She talks about how, something I think is probably very true, that True Grit is not considered, it used to be studied, she says, I didn't know that. It used to be studied as literature for a while, but then I think probably because of the John Wayne movie, anyway, that's what she says, and it makes sense to me. I don't mean she, but the woman who gave the introduction, Donna Tartt, she says that, it's sort of got a bad reputation because of that movie. Suddenly it became a John Wayne Western instead of literature. It's really good. I picked it up because Charles Portis had died. And so I've been hearing about him, and I thought, why don't I read something of his? Because I had never read anything of his. Boy, I was really impressed, and I started telling everyone about it. Some people agree with me, others less so. I guess that's how life is. I'm looking for some illustrations in here. I just passed one, we'll get to it. The paper's nice and reasonable thickness. Let's see how it's laid out. Plenty of space. Nice big print. And here's some illustration. Look at the shadow going across the court. Rooster Cogburn is giving testimony. This is near the beginning of the book. This is when the protagonist first glimpses the man who is going to be with her for the rest of the book. Most of the rest of the book. They print their images, their illustrations on a different kind of paper from the rest of the book. Look at maybe one more big illustration here. I actually don't want to even describe what's happening in that picture in case you haven't really read the book yet and you really want to. I don't want to give anything away, but we'll just have a look at I don't think this gives too much away. The story is of a young girl, kind of an extraordinary young girl, whose father is murdered. And she goes off trying to hire someone to go bring him to justice. And she is not going to let anyone take advantage of her. She's not going to let anyone go do this without her. And her character arc, I don't know, it's interesting. I'm not sure how much she personally grows, but her story is an interesting one, and her voice, it's told in first person, her voice is unlike any other. She has a way of saying things and a way of looking at things. I love this book. True Grit, Charles Portis. This is a Folio Society edition.